Hi everyone, it's so great to have you all back to make some cool electronics with us and to have a few beers. Welcome back to Cool Electronics Guy. To keep with our tradition of having a beer every time, I have a beer to show you today. This beer right here, let's see if I can get it in the camera for you. Let me see. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. This beer I had already, there I can make it brighter. I already had this beer last night, and I got to say, I think this was one of the best beers that I ever had in my entire life. It's 10% alcohol. It's made by Beer Tree, which they make a whole bunch of fantastic beers. They make a lot of sours, that style of beer. This is a chocolate peanut butter cup, Imperial Milk Stout. You can see that in the picture there. And this tastes just like drinking a Reese's Pieces candy. This is definitely a dessert beer. I highly recommend this. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I really couldn't ask for a better beer. Alright, so today we're working with the fourth project in the Arduino Starter Kit, which is called the Color Mixing Lamp. The materials that we're going to use for this project are one RGB LED. It's an RGB LED, so it's got 4 legs. We're going to use 3 220 ohm resistors, 3 10K ohm resistors, 3 photo transistors, and 3 color filters, a red, a green, and a blue. So as you can see, we're wiring up the breadboard to the Arduino. We're getting this project started, and it looks like it's going pretty good. There's a few things I just wanted to talk about for this project. Because the Arduino can't vary the output on its pins and only put out 5 volts, we're going to be using a cool technique today called pulse width modulation, or PWM, to fade the LEDs. If you don't know, pulse width modulation changes the output pin high and low so fast over a fixed period of time that you can't even see it with your eye. By changing the pin high and low really quick, it's as if you were changing the voltage. The Arduino book that comes with this, it really explains this process pretty good, better than I probably could. I'm gonna refer to the book for this one. It says the percent of time a pin is high in a period is called the duty cycle. When the pin is high for half the period and low for the other half, the duty cycle is 50%. So I hope you understand that. It's pretty important for this project. So the LED would be dimmer at a low duty cycle, or lower duty cycle, and brighter at a higher duty cycle. And if you're wondering how to calculate the duty cycle, you can see the formula and an example on the bottom of the screen. We're just about finished wiring this up. The Arduino Uno has 6 pins for the pulse width modulation. They're digital pins 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. And can we bring that a little closer to the camera to show that? The inputs that we will be using for this project are 3 photo transistors. As you can see, we're getting those right now. That's exactly what we're putting on the board right now. Those are the photo transistors. A little bit about photo transistors. They generate a current that's directly proportional to the quantity of light absorbed. So directly proportional to the quantity of light absorbed. The short leg is the emitter, which leaves the long leg is the collector. We wired up the power and ground just like we did on the other Arduino projects. These projects seem to really be cumulative. You know, 1, 2, 3, we're on the 4th one now, and we're using the basics from the last one. I looked ahead to the next project, and we use all the ideas in the first 4 projects, including this one, in the next project. So it's really nice how they do that. Let's see, what else we got here? We got our 3 photo transistors across the center of the breadboard. The long positive leg is going to power. And by the way, photo transistors are polarized, just like LEDs. They only let electricity flow through them in one direction. So after we place those photo transistors, we're going to put 10K ohm transistors in series with the photo resistors into ground. As you can see, he's doing that right now. On the same side as the resistor, we're going to connect the photo transistors to analog pins 0, 1, and 2 using our jumper wires. And then we're going to use these cool, they call them colored gels. They're just like thin sheets of colored plastic. And we're going to put those over the photo transistors. Let's see, you can see I'm putting the jumper wires in there now. Getting a little out of focus there. Sorry about that. The filters, they're pretty cool. They are gonna filter out the light. They're gonna let certain wavelengths of light through. The red one lets red light pass through. The green one will let green light pass through. And yeah, what a surprise. The blue filter only lets blue light pass through. The LED on there, it has 4 legs. It's called a common cathode RGB LED. It has separate red, green, and blue elements inside of it in one common ground, which is called the cathode. We're going to create a voltage difference between the cathode and the voltage coming out of the Arduino's pulse width modulation pins, which I tried to show you a little bit earlier. I hope you saw that. It might be a little out of focus. Those are connected to the anodes through 3 220 ohm resistors. Be sure to connect the longest pin on the LED to ground. Connect the other 3 pins to digital pins 9, 10, and 11 in series with the 220 ohm resistors. Alright, I think we're all set with this. It looks like it's all wired up. We're going to connect it to our Arduino IDE and test it, see if it works. Alright, we've started the programming for this project. We just started, as you can see on the screen. We're getting there. Once we get the program all completed and uploaded to the Arduino, we can start looking at the values coming from our sensors by opening the serial monitor like we did in the last project. So once we get this finished, we'll show you our work on the project on the breadboard, and we'll show you those values on the serial monitor. Alright, we've got everything wired up. We inputted the code into the Arduino IDE. We have the serial monitor up and running, showing what our sensors are doing, and I'll show you that in a minute. You can see we have the LED lit up. Want to show us the LED? See, right there. And you can see those filters, the red, the green, and the blue. The red goes to analog port 0, the green analog port 1, and you can see the light change now as those filters fell off. The blue one goes to analog port 2. So you can really play around with this now and see that it changed even more. That we took the blue off, it went to a more purpler color. You can play around with this. I just want to point out some of the components. We just showed you the LED and we showed you the filters. There's the photo transistors, right where that blue filter sitting on top of. And those resistors, I'm sorry, right behind the photo transistors are the 10K ohms. And then the blue ones behind the LED, those resistors are the 220 ohm. And we're all wired up to the Arduino board. I don't think I can get a better shot of that. Those green wires are going to our analog ports, the orange for pulse width modulation, and I'm going to try and zoom into our serial monitor. It's just cruising. I wonder if we can figure a way to slow that down. But you can see the sensors are obviously working. The information is coming up on our serial monitor. This was a fun little project. Really enjoyed it. Let me zoom back in on the project here for you guys before we wrap this video up. And see that tweezer? I always use tweezers. I have a whole nice set of tweezers that I use in my projects. They make life a lot easier, especially when you're working with small components like that and you have big hands like mine. So now the fun part, you can play around with different lighting situations and the gel filters to create different results. So that pretty much wraps up project number 4. I think it was a great little project. It can definitely have applications in creating your own projects. We'll probably have another video posted next week for the 5th project in the Arduino Starter Kit, which is called Mood Q, C-U-E. This is a level 2 project, and it builds on the last 4 projects. It takes about probably an hour to complete. So we hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like our video and leave comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.